What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, April 6th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have an 8-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Lucas Giolito pitching against a low salary batting team, the Seattle Mariners. Lucas Giolito is only giving up a .558 OPS versus righties, and he's facing 5 righties here tonight. Now, this is a small sample size, but the Mariners have hit 5 of his last 8 pitches, batting a .625 batting average, but that sample size is way too low. The splits are good here. It's a low salary batting team, and Lucas Giolito, he's projected at 26 fantasy points here tonight. He's 9,600 FanDuel salary and 300 less on DraftKings. He had an ERA of 3.48 last year. His record was 4-3, and he was pitching an average of 101 pitches per game. He was averaging 40 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 34, 52, and 49 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Lucas Giolito here versus the Seattle Mariners. I also like this pick because Vegas thinks this is going to be a low scoring game with an over-under of 7.5 runs. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher position. I like Yasmani Grandal with a 75% batting advantage over James Paxton. Yasmani Grandal bats 18% better versus lefty pitchers. He's batting a .905 OPS versus lefties. And James Paxton throws his worst ball by far to switch hitters. 57% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 2 OPS versus switch hitters. There's no at-bats versus Paxton yet, but Yasmani Grandal is 3,100 FanDuel salary, and he's 2,100 more on DraftKings. He's projected at 10.3 fantasy points here tonight, and he averaged 10 fantasy points per game on the season last year, and he scored 35, 3, and 22 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Yasmani Grandal here versus James Paxton.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Jeff McNeil with a 32% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Chase Anderson. Jeff McNeil bats 14% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a .880 OPS versus righties. And Chase Anderson throws his worst ball versus lefty batters. 18% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.158 OPS versus lefties. And Jeff McNeil is 1 for 3 with a 1.167 OPS versus Anderson. Jeff McNeil is 2,700 FanDuel salary. He's 1,100 more on DraftKings, projected at 10.1 fantasy points here tonight, He averaged 9 fantasy points per game on the season last year. So I like Jeff McNeil here versus Chase Anderson. Okay, who do we have at the third base position? I like Eduardo Escobar from the Arizona Diamondbacks. He has a 33% batting advantage over German Marquez. Eduardo Escobar, he's batting 11% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .625 OPS versus righties. And German Marquez throws his worst ball versus switch hitters, 22% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .842 OPS versus switch hitters. Now I like this pick because Eduardo Escobar is 10 for 17, batting a .588 batting average and a 1.556 OPS versus Marquez. He's $3,200 FanDuel salary and $600 more on DraftKings. He's projected at 9.6 fantasy points here tonight, and he scored an average of 77 fantasy points per game on the season last year. I also like this pick because Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game with an over-under of 10.5 runs. So I like Eduardo Escobar here versus German Marquez.
Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. Another value play for you. I like Didi Gregorius with a 17% batting advantage over Marcus Stroman. Didi Gregorius bats 17% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a .863 OPS versus righties. Now, Marcus Stroman didn't pitch last year. He opted out because of COVID-19, so he could be a little rusty. And Didi Gregorius is 8 for 31, batting a .258 batting average and a .690 OPS versus Stroman. He's only $2,700 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,800 more on DraftKings. He averaged 11 fantasy points per game on the season last year, and he scored 7, 3, and 6 fantasy points in his last 3 games. He's projected at 10.3 fantasy points here tonight, so I like Didi Gregorius here versus Marcus Stroman. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Raimel Tapia with an 8% batting advantage over a low-salary pitcher, Luke Weaver. Raimel Tapia, he's batting a .733 OPS versus righties, and Luke Weaver pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, 23% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.024 OPS versus lefties. And I like this pick because Raimel Tapia is 4 for 7 with a .571 batting average and a 1.196 OPS versus Weaver. He's $3,400 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. So I like that DraftKings price. He's projected at 9.9 fantasy points here tonight. He averaged 9 fantasy points per game on the season last year, and he scored 0, 19, and 3 fantasy points in his last 3 games. And Vegas does think this is going to be a high-scoring game. 10.5 runs is their over-under. So I like Raimel Tapia here versus Luke Weaver.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.